Good evening, Link to the Past Randomizer League, and welcome to Season 4 Open Playoffs. We're in the second week, and we are getting a Game 4 between Zelda and Chill and Elf. We have Oro for Zelda and Chill and Locke for Team Elf. The mode tonight is Swordless? That's right, we've got Swordless tonight. I am Radical Sniper 99, and tonight I'm joined by Philion. How's it going?
Hi, it's going great. I just want to issue a small correction. The mode is not swordless, it's swordless. Locke may have suggested I take swordless so that he didn't have to. And, well, you know, it's swordless.
Yeah. So this game is chosen by Zelda and Chill, so this was Oro's selection, I guess. It's quite... I don't know if we've had a lot of swordless picks yet. I've seen a lot of Inversion and a lot of Enemizer. And even I think we've gotten a few of the MC shuffles, but I think this is the first time I've seen swordless so far for the playoffs.
Well, then, we're in for what we might call a treat. Huh? What?
Yeah.
What? All right. Boots and Links have 2 races in a row. Oro's gotta start doing Uncle Start. I don't know what to tell them.
Yeah, I don't know what to say there because we had the same start last night as well. I think the only negative here really is boots are a little scary in swordless. You know, we can't dash as freely.
No, not at all. It's fine until there are enemies on the screen, and then dashing is just going to cause you trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was about to say, you know, I can argue for a Sank start, and then Locke proving me wrong that apparently, no, you should always start Uncle, and I agree because I'm an Uncle starter, but wow.
See, it's great. Now Locke gets to go to Sank and do the back of Sank before even going into the village. Will that help? I don't know, but he gets to do it.
This is the whole reason you do this kind of start. Is you hope for something that lets you do more when you go to Kakariko, and we've already got that.
And actually, in particular, those 3 bombs from Uncle Chest are going to be nice for Locke to have. Oro doing the save and quit because they don't actually have bombs yet. Might see a south route.
Yeah, and we did get a little bit of money at least. Maybe Oro was getting also the feeling of, is this going to be another one? And then sees the boots and it's like, oh no, not again.
Oh, and Oro's not even headed to the village. Oro is headed off to Eastern. All right.
Well, and with those boots, at least you can check Sahasrar's closet, so it's not a bad idea at this point.
Yeah. And did we see Pendant Eastern?
I missed the map check, to be honest.
There was a red crystal and a pendant on what I saw on the map check. Ooh. Okay, there's a hammer in Bonk Rocks, so we are most of the way to Dark World access already.
And the hammer's even more important, actually, in this mode. You know, you don't always think about it, but that hammer gives us the ability, once we get the book, to actually open up tablets. So...
Oh, yeah.
So nice
Let's
little
just use bombos in Ice Palace in the rooms that might need bombos.
Yes, the rarely good medallions in this mode.
It does not, however, do Tempered Sword damage today because there's no such thing as a Tempered Sword.
What's a sword?
I have no idea. I'm making up words here.
Apparently. Yes, those will be green 20s, so... But that does mean, of course, without those pointy objects, we are really looking for the special silver pointy objects, because killing Ganon without the silver arrows is, I don't want to say impossible, but I don't know if either of our runners really feel like doing the buffered hammer hits.
It is not worth it.
Yeah. So worst case, I think what we could see tonight is... You know, you get to Ganon and at least get that hint for where the silvers are off of Ganon. That's always a possibility. We'll see what happens, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see runners doing Well, I have no idea where the silvers are because I go moded 5 dungeons. Let's just go get the hint.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is game 4. Currently, Zelda and Chill is up to 1. Um, we had Darity and Amerith take games 1 and 2, and then finally, last night actually took game 3. So to
Wait a
force
second.
I
That's
know, right?
me. That's
Yeah,
me.
that's. So we did have quite the race last night, and bringing us here, and then of course a win tonight for Team Elf does force Game 5, which will be that Retrance co-op mode that we've heard so much about.
Yeah, that mode that I've extensively played and know everything about, and am well equipped to take on Amaranth and Darity if it comes to it. So nothing great in Eastern so far, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's a pendant, so you don't
it
feel
is the
too bad
pendant.
about doing it.
Yeah, this is the good approach. I like what Oro's done. You just say, well, if there's an item on Armos, I'm missing that, but I'm clearing out everything I probably need from this dungeon.
Yeah, and besides, we did get that Red Rang. We have that Mushroom near Dark World access as well. So not a bad start here with CAC.
Oh,
wait,
oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
our
no,
silver. Sorry,
I knew this. I just forgot. Yeah, yeah, right. All right, silvers in hand. Ignore the hint. Ignore the commentator doesn't understand the video game.
Yeah, I forgot that this operates very similar to what we had actually for ladder this past season, or a season or two ago with the champion swordless.
Oh, that's so much better too, because at least if the bow's in a nasty spot, at least it's bottlenecking more of the game than that. Oh, that's great. We like to see that. Cool. Oro going South Shore rather than go to Village, so we'll not get their hammer, glove, bow for the time being.
Yeah, and the question is, if we see that other glove show up for Oro, do we miss that one on Uncle for a little bit?
Ooh. Anywhere else, I'd say not a chance, but maybe on Uncle.
Yeah, Uncle's really, Uncle in front of Escape can be those two locations that you kind of just forget a while, because why else would you go there?
Mm-hmm. And Oro's headed over to the desert area to check on Agina. Opting not to do mini Moldorm at this point.
Yeah, after getting those extra bombs too, so definitely enough.
Locke, meanwhile, actually backtracked through the race game for that big 300. I wonder if the Zora area is on his mind at all.
I mean, when I get boots, I definitely prefer to do that water walk over to the Zora area.
Yeah.
I'm not big on having a pearl to do fake flippers, but if I have boots, I will almost always do a water walk.
Mm-hmm.
So,
hey,
but
with bow and bombs, there is even the potential for doing a fake flipper to the ledge if that's needed. But that's all going to hinge on Locke getting about 110 more rupees here.
yeah. And I mean, we still have the option to go for we have 20 rupee cave.
Yeah,
I know. I'm not a big fan of it as well.
That is technically the truth.
Yeah, I know. You're thinking, who does 20 rupee cave?
I mean, I have definitely done it to pay for Zora just so I didn't have to go back, and I stand by doing it. I just hate doing it.
Yes.
Looks like the stun prize that Locke was checking there actually gives a single bomb, which is in the upper tier, I'd say, of stun prizes. Nice work with the bow and mini Moldorm Cave.
I was about to say, did those arrows look very normal? They were. One of the cool little features is the ability to swap between your silvers and your regular arrows. So Locke taking a little bit of advantage of that just to get rid of a little bit of lag while firing them.
But nothing good in that cave.
I mean, is Samaria not good?
Oh, wait, sorry, we got Samaria. Samaria is too good. And I need to wake up.
Oh, I didn't realize we did get a sword in Blind's Hut.
Oh, yeah.
One of our first 20s.
First of probable 4 green 20s. Yo, who does palette shuffle? What is this? I can't see properly in Ice Rod Cave. Get rid of this. Stop doing this, kids. It's destroying America.
I mean, it's not the worst place I've seen use of palette shuffle in the playoffs so far. I've definitely heard the opinion that don't use palette shuffle in cross keys.
Oh yeah, you're just hurting yourself there because you have no
Yeah.
idea when you come out of a cave what world you're in necessarily. You go into a cave and you're like, wait, what is this? Just don't do it, kids.
But here we go with the water walk to Zora Waterfall. See if we can get anything out of here. I mean, that's something. Fire Rod is always something.
It is not nothing.
And are we actually... Yeah, okay. Not that it's necessary. I was about to say we could have done a splash deletion there, but no need.
No need. So Locke is not going to have the Zora money. He is going to run his way over to the hobo. And save and quit from there. Meanwhile, Oro finishing up in the village. So where does that leave us with progression? Front of escape?
Front of escape.
Or, I guess, Armos. Though I wasn't counting items for Oro in Eastern.
And Locke getting that 300 off the hobo is actually going to return to Zora, I think. Has plenty of money now after getting that 300, so...
Yeah, it feels a little bad to backtrack like this, but it's going to be a long time before you're in a better spot to do Zora, so you might as well just knock it out here. Especially because that glove does put it in logic.
Yeah, the one unfortunate thing for both of our runners here, you know, getting that Cane of Samaria out of Mini Moldorm Cave is we could have actually seen fake powder.
Oh, yeah. Still could.
Yeah, but I
Still
don't know
could
if I
do that.
go for that play out of logic.
It's
Just for
an
that one
interesting
check.
one. It is a lot to do when you have other parts of the world open to you. On the other hand, earlier in the game, I'm a little more partial to fake powder because you might pull off a really, really big sequence break.
Yeah, and I
you know,
think
later in the game, you're like, powder's probably in GT. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you do this before you go into VOO kind of deal.
Yeah, I think that's the timing you go for. Locke gonna be glad he went back to Zora. There's a Bombos medallion there. That's now 2 of 3 medallions.
Yeah, and that's really the only one that has added value in this game.
That being the Ice Palace stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Still works in Swordless.
As long as you got a coin on the floor. But Locke is going to go and give us all of Eastern Palace here, even with it being a pendant. So be curious to see if there was an item we missed on Armos.
Oh, hang on. Chat's asking a question that leads me to a useful conclusion. Armos actually not in logic at the moment, since the big key for Eastern is through the Dark Room.
Oh,
And,
good point.
Yeah. Yeah. Infer what you will from that, chat. I mean, Locke's still just going to beat the dungeon while he's here if he needs the third item. But...
I mean, obviously, Lamp is an escape, and
Oh yeah,
Armos has something.
yeah. Lamps feeling pretty escapey here. Looks like Oro also setting up for the water walk. Gonna get to do a little less backtracking here, as they've got almost 700 rupees for the trip.
Well, and that could mean we do skip out on Hobo. Realistically.
Which is fine for them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just
Yeah.
300 bucks.
Right. That was the big 300 that rerouted Locke. So okay.
And actually, now that I think about it, the fact that we know that something is in front of Escape, this does bode well for Oro at this point, knowing they will not actually skip that glove.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna get funneled there pretty nicely.
And Oro did actually have that set up. You don't always see this a lot, but runners making sure to kind of stand off to the side of Zora as the item comes out, because then you can skip the item if you don't want it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, nice little way to save a few seconds if you get ambushed by a big 20 from Zora.
Yeah, and plus it just gives you that option to head back to Hobo if desired. And yes, I am seeing mention of, hey, if we get that lamp, that does technically mean we can go into Aga Tower.
But what about the curtain at the top of the tower? It's swordless mode. We removed the curtain. Don't worry about it, kids.
Yes, our curtains in Aga Tower, as well as our vines in Skullwoods, are all gone. Of course, we still do need that item to get, we needed the hammer or the cape to get into Aga Tower still, but we do have that hammer already.
But how does it break the It's a magic hammer. It breaks barriers.
Just like it has the properties of a Master Sword on a tablet.
Yeah. Why did we pick the hammer and not the bow for that? Because the hammer is actually magic. And there we are, Moon Pearl first chest escape.
So obviously, we don't actually even care about Aga. That's great.
Woohoo! Not so good for Locke. Looks like he's gonna end up. Wait. Actually, let's see first. Yep, he is gonna end up doing Armos Knights. So this will be a big time sink for him unless it really pays off. If it gives him something for progression at all, it is going to be a long time before Oro heads back here, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and I think what we can say as well is, I don't believe we got the small key for escape, so I think that's in the Dark Cross.
That's my recollection as well. So Oros will not save time. Depends on if they save and quit to the back of escape right here. That's a nice rod. Okay.
Interesting that we're starting to shape up pretty quickly on some of our required items. And that's a book. Wow.
Ooh!
That is a very interesting find.
Huh.
I don't know if this is going to come into play, but that is huge.
Huh.
Do you head to desert after this? I mean, with fire rod and silver arrows, like, Land Molus really is not a difficult fight at this point, and
Boots makes it easier to get over there. You haven't checked
Yeah.
Agina. There was a sword on Sahasrahla, so Locke's going to be really glad that he... never mind. Desert's a crystal. As far as you can... Well... Okay, the reason I think the case for not doing this, even though Locke's going to do it, the case for not doing it is that you didn't have access to a sword. Or sorry, a lamp. So that book is out of logic. So depending on how much you think that escape is just another glove for you, or sorry, just your lamp. If that's the case, you go here to desert because you're like, oh, I'm gonna cut out the lamp and get my moon pearl. But what Locke's doing here is just gonna lead him out of logic. Probably not gonna hurt him.
If Swamp and Mire are pendants, are we in go mode? No, we are not. We still will need the mitts, and it looks like we've got TR and Swamp for those pendants. And is that a Skull Woods 5/6? So there are other pieces of information there.
Yes. Early Fire Rod, early Ice Rod, Pendant Turtle Rock, Link to the Past Randomizer. Why do we stay with you?
I have so many ideas as to why, but I don't know if I want to put that weight on myself as well as everybody else in this community.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate that.
But yeah, we do still need Titan's mitts. I don't know. Does Locke cover?
I hope not. So yeah, I guess we'll need a hook shot.
Yeah.
Don't need flippers though. Like, whatever. We'll just cheat to get to Ice Palace. It's not cheating if it's legal in the game.
Exactly. I definitely use that logic a lot to myself.
So Oro's making the play to pod, balancing, in my mind, two competing forces. One is, do I really want to do pod without a mirror? Because mirrors make it so much nicer. And there's always something good in pod, shouldn't I just head there?
Well, and the one thing that always worries me here is, this is lampless pod as well. And also no vision cone or no vision from like a sword.
Yeah, the hammer is a substitute, but it's like the "we have a sword at home" meme. It's not really a sword for that. Locke is.
Wait, did Locke just skip land mode?
Locke went out the right side of Desert Palace because that's a thing that people do in this game. Ever.
Before getting a crystal?
Chat, what did I miss? What's Locke doing that I didn't clue into?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Oh, did he get his 2 items and his big key? And he figures he'll come back here with with flute and mirror.
I mean, is that it's a choice? I don't know if I necessarily agree with it.
That's like, okay, I guess. It's not like you're gonna come back with a better sword, though. What's rough about that decision is, in his spot, I'd actually be thinking, I wonder if this book is the only way I'm supposed to get to desert. What if Mire's a pendant and I just never see my flute?
Exactly.
So, that's a reason to just do that while you're there.
Yeah, how many times do you see, the Mire pendant, and then you never find items such and such? Except there we go, we have flippers.
Yeah. I mean, we could still just never see a mirror because it's in GT and it's pendant swamp. So, yeah, flippers are cool.
Yeah.
Puts that fire rod into logic. So that's neat, useful.
But Locke now heading into the front of Escape. Will be getting that Moon Pearl shortly. And I have to imagine we go all the way for that Ice Rod as well.
Yeah, I don't think bailing on... Well, I was going to say, I don't think Locke bails on dungeons, but he literally just did that, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, and while I would say that this whole lampless pod is very scary in a sense. The fact that Oro did select this mode makes me wonder, is this not a big issue?
Yeah, you don't pick swordless and then go to lampless pod swordless unless you're prepared for what you've done to yourself. It looks like just this. I'm sorry, I can't speak. It looks like they're setting up Hammer Yump here, so.
Yeah, definitely not something we see too frequently in non-key modes, but given the fact that we have that small key and the big key, and we don't have a mirror, this is definitely a more common strat. Ah, yeah, that's a
Okay.
way to see.
I've never thought to do that. I do the little boot spam to kick up dust everywhere thing, but I've never thought to just carry around a block.
Yeah, no, that's ingenious, really.
It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
All right, and Locke now having that item called the Moon Pearl is headed to the Dark World as well. Looks like in the same path Oro's on. There's the map check.
But Oro's haven't... Was that another chest there?
Yeah, that was a big 20 at the top.
Okay. Yeah, definitely still having a little bit of trouble getting around here. This is not easy. I think most of us feel comfortable, especially at this level, most runners would say, oh yeah, dark pod maze. I've got my sword, I hold it out, I see a little sparkle, I'm good. None of that. Definitely not an easy moment.
On the one hand, the room is a lot easier if you can kill all the enemies, because then you don't get bumped around. On the other hand, now you don't have their fireballs to kind of gauge where you're moving, so... Alright, Locke headed also to here is going to be what, like 2/3 of a pod behind getting into the dungeon?
Yeah, roughly about that. Now, hopefully, Oro is going to have enough magic still for the pod basement, because that will make that turtle room a lot better.
I assume they're counting that. You don't... Right? Right? Oro, you're
I would
counting
have
that?
to.
I am being informed that Locke did not mess up a Kiki Dash because he didn't even try to Kiki Dash, which is an improvement over just dashing all the way in with Kiki. So I'll give this one to him. Thanks, chat, for making fun of my teammate for me. Takes a lot of work off of my end.
I was gonna say, how does it feel watching your teammate in the do or die situation here?
It's terrifying, but watching Locke is always a terrifying experience, no matter what he's doing. Remember that he stopped playing like a 69 game shuffler or something to do this race, so Locke's this guy, He's always doing weird stuff. In comparison, I pull up Oro's stream and they're just like, competing at Zelda and trying to win at things. So there's a different approach to the video game by these two runners.
Which does remind us, what are we playing for besides? I honestly don't know sometimes. The top 4 teams out of the playoffs do make it, or do get an invite to next year's Invitational League. So, have to win this round and, of course, the next round to get that spot.
Well, that's a scary prospect.
It is, isn't it?
Let's worry about this race for now.
Yeah.
Let's see how Oro does in the dark. There's the first Helmasaur snapped. There's the switch to Fire Rod. 5 hearts is a pretty good amount to have, and nice Fire Rod shot despite a turtle hitting them.
Just gonna have to be a little bit careful here with the Helma fight coming up. Only on 3 hearts, so can take 1 hit, and gonna be scary because we still have to get through one last turtle room here.
Yeah. Fortunately, oh, very nice with the turtles. Unfortunately, Oro does have silvers, so Helma fight goes down easy if you make it through phase 1. Unless Helma just moves randomly and sporadically in.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say
bops you anyway.
I'm very scared of that.
Also, that Oro now at 1 heart in Oko mode for the remainder of this fight. Nicely done.
Whew. Very nice.
And that will be our first crystal.
Now, of course, Oro has not yet checked the back of Escape to get that mushroom, but roughly speaking, we're pretty much even. That book still is a question mark. Have to wait and see if we get the mirror in the seed. That's really the big question here for, the potential advantage for Locke.
Yeah, weird as it is that Locke bailed on that dungeon, I think his best case scenario is still that. Ooh, that looks like an unintentional death, which is fine because he's got the fairy. But I think his best case scenario is that that book in the Armos fight is required for desert access. And because Oro, as we said, is going to take a long time to get there. Locke will be, I think, disappointed if he sees a mirror pop up.
Yeah, and it's not even that the book is solely for that. If we get that mirror, for all we know, that's required for one of our tablets as well.
That is still true. They're still possible, yeah.
So these are all kind of little benefits for Locke at this point. Tough to say, of course. Still really early, but all possible.
Well, it looks like Locke, for the moment at least, is going to bail on that last chest in the dark maze. It is just a big 20, so if he misses it, he won't hurt it. He won't hurt other than having that question mark left in his mind. Unless he actually got both chests, and I just didn't see, because there's 2 runners. Oro, of course, demonstrating what many people forget when we play swordless, but Oro does not. You can't hammer dash very effectively. You don't even want to try. You'll just knock down the peg and bounce off.
Yeah, unfortunately, that does mean, of course, hammer pegs are now slow version. No chance for the fast. But it looks like we're going to get an early play for Skull Woods and the Moth.
Yeah, why not? You can do this. It's even in logic now that we have the flippers.
I was about to say, why is this in logic, or why wouldn't it have been in logic until you set the fire rod?
Oh yeah, I mean this is in logic, but the stuff at the back of the dungeon, that's the question mark stuff.
Meanwhile, Locke into the Helmasaur fight as well. A little bit extra health, as well as a 7th heart, which is really massive at this point for these Dark World bosses that usually do 2 hearts.
And Locke being very cautious on this fight. Keeping his distance, but there we go. Does anyone know? I'm looking maybe to Oro's teammates here. Does anyone know what MSU pack Oro's using? Because it's just all these different video games, and it has thrown me for a loop.
I was gonna say, is this like a Super Smash Bros. Levels?
Oh! Maybe it is just one game, and that game is all of the games.
And Amerith confirming Smash Bros. Done by Moogle Charm, so.
Neat. Locke, what?
I think this is gonna be a fake powder?
Oh, I thought he was just missing a random green guard that he could run from, but you're right. This is the fake powder that we talked about earlier that Locke might do before we went to the Dark World.
And I mean, if you're going into Dark World, it's not a bad idea because the just bonk that tree.
Yeah, you get the refill right there. Whoa!
Oh my god!
Oh! That was some sick pause buffering that was going on. That very nearly worked.
And this is really the danger of swordless. You know, it can just be such a difficult run to kind of deal with, you know, even such a simple enemy as the mini Moldorms. We kind of take for granted the sword.
Yeah, first trip through Oro was just using Fire Rod on them, which works great until you start to run low on magic, and you've still got things like Mummy Hellway. So it frustrating as it can be, sometimes what you have to do here is just kind of step back, slow it all down, and take it at a speed that you're more comfortable with, like Oro's doing here, to make sure you're not just face checking over and over and losing time that way.
We did get that ped read from Locke real quick. Just pocket change this time, so definitely not a ped seed. And here we go, Moth round 2 on Oro's side.
Wow, Moth just being a jerk, staying right near the spikes. I think we're at 3 hits now. There we go.
Very nicely done. That is not an easy fight. Runners really practice, you know, hammer strats at times, and that is just quite the skill to have. So, mad respect for a 6-heart Moth. Meanwhile, it does look like Locke is going to give us a similar play into Skullwood. So 7 hearts, he's still not much better of a fight. But Oro now heading to the front of Skullwoods as Locke is entering the back. So just a little high five here. And yeah, I mean, you know, these 4 modes that we have for the game 3-4 set are, you know, really a question of where do you feel comfortable and can you gain an advantage over your opponent? It's a really tough strategy to kind of think through these. And in this case, you know, we're seeing Oro say, you know, I want swordless here. So we'll see if this kind of pays off. Really hard mode to go through, so.
Whoa, intended strats in the back, or the front of Skull Woods.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a while.
I was surprised by that as well, but worked out, so and that was our bug net.
On
Which,
the minus side, we got a bug net out of that. I kid. I know. I get 2. Shoutouts to Sakura.
I mean, do you like Hammer Aga?
Okay. No, but I dislike the meme of Aga Bugnet more.
Yes, that's fair. I've definitely heard that one a few too many times of, oh, Aga's in Logic now. So.
Locke! Locke! Oh god. No. Whew! Thank you for coming on that journey with me, everyone. Locke not making it look easy.
That 7th heart making all the difference in the world, clearly. Meanwhile, we're having to be a little careful here in Village of Outcasts, down to 1 heart. We just need to make it into Thieves Town here. There's that, yeah.
Mirror.
That item we said might not show up. Apparently it decided to show its face.
So, fun fact, Pyramid Fairy is now available.
And those are Titan's Myths.
They are. That is also a fun fact. So what do we need now? Are we just down to a flute and a hookshot?
Yes. And actually, Pyramid Fairy's not in Logic.
Oh, no, it's not in Logic. No, but we're never going to see Lamp at this point. Lamp's probably like left side swamp. So, bye.
A little bit of an extended pause here from Oro. Not sure if this is a contemplation of play or just a quick moment.
I thought they were just grooving to the.
I mean, it's great game over music. I'm definitely getting the hankering to play Smash Bros again.
Yeah. This doesn't feel like a thinking moment to me, just because Oro went into Thieves Town and deliberately just jumped on that horse head for the health refill. And there we are. Looks like it was just a coffee run.
So we're gonna get to see another. We've seen some great swordless bosses so far, with Moth, Helma, and even Armos. But here comes the next one, Blind, and as I say that, we find the tool that makes Blind easy. So
was that Burna? That was Burna.
Yeah, we got Cannaburna.
Yeah, I mean that's almost autopilot. Not quite, but almost.
And really, both runners really having a nice route here. I think even after this, being able to say, I'm going to hit, after I finish up Village of Outcasts, I'll do hammer pegs. And oof, I think that was a double hit there, unfortunately for Oro. But you go from here directly, maybe do hammer pegs or do dig game into Smith and hammer pegs, and then pick up Purple Chest and head towards Cave 45 and Stumpy.
Yeah, boom. I mean, the only problem with doing anything Smith related at this point is that it's not a dungeon. And we are starting to hit that inflection point of like, do you just go and clear dungeons at this point?
And actually, you're right in that I don't know. I agree, but I would consider the idea of taking that chain and then, after I'm done Purple Chest, heading into Ice Palace. And it's on the way.
Yeah, it is fairly on the way when you do that. Ooh. Oro getting bopped around in
Yeah, this is
hallway
the
here.
unfortunate use of Cane of Burna in that hallway in comparison to the Cape. Is that
Sorry, go on.
just that, if you hit those spikes, you are getting bopped like that.
On the other hand, you can't auto walk if you use the cane, so you can't accidentally have to save and quit out of the dungeon. So
That never happens.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
When has that ever happened in a race, even? Or this week?
In this series.
Or the last 24 hours?
Localized entirely within this dungeon.
Yes.
Right, Thieves Town. I don't know, it's Thieves Town. Chat, you've all seen Thieves Town before. There's 4 items in it. You go up to the top, you bomb the floor. You're like, oh, that was clever foreshadowing back in the light world when the guy told us that blind hates light. Locke's health is concerning.
I feel like we're going to be in this kind of concerning health for the rest of the seed at this rate. Just how quickly we're getting all of our items and not health.
Yeah. This isn't hard mode, so there is still the option of, like, maybe we'll find a blue mail. But, yeah, heart containers are feeling a little thin, and swordless is a mode where you just really feel it, because, as we've said, you can't dash through enemies.
Yeah, and Swordless Ganon is a very acquired taste of a boss fight.
Oh, Swordless Ganon sucks.
Yes.
I'm not going to mince words. Ganon knows what he's done to me in swordless fights.
You know how, like, you can see, like, a little bit of Ganon's arm or his foot at times? Yeah, you're aiming for those spots.
Alright, Oro coming in short on magic due to the Hellway. And the cane that we talked about is doing hammer strats for the first part of this, and now switching to Burna. Not certain they'll have enough magic for this whole fight. There's the Samaria switch to get 1 hit in. 2 hits. Pause buffer.
Darn. Yeah, Oro knew it was coming and was thinking, is there anything I can do here?
Yeah.
And just gonna leave for now. I don't think this is a bad call. Meanwhile, Locke having that full magic bar is having a little bit of an easier time here. Still giving us a bit of a moment, but through blind as well.
So Locke did the bombable hut first and got a heart container out of it. And you'll see once again Locke finished that boss fight with 1 heart remaining. As I'm fond of saying, 1 heart is all you need, folks.
Yeah, Locke is just, maybe that's what it is Locke's just finding that one moment, knowing, hey, I've got 1 heart left, we're good.
It's a terrifying way to play, but also I play that way too, so I'm in 0 position to judge. Let's be clear. So that is going to be time deficit for Oro having to go back into the dungeon at some point. As they get further and further from it. God, this is so many digs. What is going on here?
No, we got the blue boomerang.
Oh, Oro just kept... Oh, Oro was probably digging health?
Yeah, magic.
Magic. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay. I get it.
And honestly, knowing that the boss was just a map, I mean, I think it's not a bad idea to just kind of wait until you have to activate your flute anyway.
I guess that would be the time. And you know that your flute is going to be showing up at some point because of Misery Mire. I was going to say it's awkward because I can't think of anything that would actually bring the runners forcibly back to this area, but you're right. Flute will.
And I'm curious, if is Locke being a little more thorough here, or regular thoroughness levels, while Oro feeling like I have to kind of play for this, just go a little bit and maybe skip some things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably accurate. Oro likely feeling behind after now 2 boss deaths. So not actually that far behind, kind of equal on crystal count, except for thieves. So. And who knows, maybe Locke's still feeling really, really good about that book he pulled?
Yeah, and I like this just for the fact that this does allow you to check that Bombos tablet.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of him pressing the advantage from that book at Armos Nights, to go and check the tablet. Because, again, for some reason, he didn't press that advantage to finish Desert Palace when he was there. Which is fine, like he'll finish it later. It's just odd.
Yeah, in many ways kind of bailed out in this sense. Bailed out by the mirror, so.
Wait, did Locke just leave a heart container behind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Locke,
you've just demonstrated that you need that last heart for every boss. Alright. Alright. Takes guts. It takes
9
guts.
hearts is 2 hits you're able to take against Cold Stare. So if that's the plan, we're in great shape.
I mean, a better plan is don't get hit, but yes. Oh, look, there's a heart from Purple Chest. Never mind. Oh, and there's our flute. Oro finds it in the first chest of Ice Palace.
And if you can bounce or hover, that's go mode, really.
Yeah.
I mean, and you don't mind a Dark Mire without a sword.
Yeah, whatever. It's easier to do Dark Mire without a sword if you spooky. I'm not saying spooky's easy without a sword, but...
I was gonna say Dark Spooky? Whew.
Nice icebreaker there.
Yeah, really quick.
And Locke is going to follow into Ice Palace here after grabbing that shovel.
Yeah, nice little continuation of the route there. So yeah, if you haven't seen Swordless before, as you saw there on Locke's side and Oro earlier, that tile there allows runners to use a medallion in the room, specifically the Bombos medallion, even though we do not have a sword. There will be one of those coins on every room that has a need to kill enemies with fire source. So we will see one here now in the Freezor room, and we also have one in the Cold Stare fight.
And those are the only spots we can use the Bombos. Can't use it in, say, the Pengator room that Locke was just in.
And the neat thing about that, of course, is if you're ever actually playing Enemizer Swordless, you will know that Cold Stare can only show up in Ice Palace.
Mm-hmm. So chat did point out correctly that we don't actually know about Ether Medallion might be required for Misery Mire entrance. That's probably fine. I imagine both runners go straight to Mire here.
Yeah. I mean, for Oro, that's desert and mire.
Hmm.
So, and actually, same for Locke. So,
Yeah, yeah. Desert has less value for him because he's got his 2 items from it. But
and actually, I did say that after activating the flute would be the time to do um, Thieves Town. But realistically, with that flute anyway, getting back to Village Valcast is not really difficult with that and our mitts. So,
yeah, yeah. And in that case, I might, if I was Oro, I might even put it off until say after Mire or something, with the idea of okay, I'm gonna do that, and then if I feel like I need to do Smiths at that point, I'm already in the area for Smiths and other stuff. All right, time for Cold Stare. Oro will be in Oko from the Puffs, but can tank a single rock from above. And we're going to see Fire Rod hits. Ooh!
oh man.
Rough day.
Yeah, this is a hard one. I can't imagine this is. There's definitely got to be a little bit of tilt coming on this now.
Yeah, it's rough to be now on your 3rd boss death and going, all right, what do I do to make up time? Because if you're
Yeah.
in Oro's spot here, the one thing you can't assume is that your opponent is going to make a mistake on a boss. It's as much as you want to sit there and hope. Oh, I hope my opponent also flubs the boss fight too. That's never a position or a gamble any runner's comfortable making. So we'll have to see how they approach this.
It looks like we are
And
going to get is the fake powder as well.
yep.
And meanwhile, lock into the cold stare fight.
Get some
Nice.
good hammer hits off the
Yeah,
start.
good start.
Locke had to
And
run around the room there, waiting for the puffs to finish exploding so that he could hammer or switch to hammer.
yeah, that's always the scary part is, you need that magic to last as long as it can. And then when it's gone and you've gotten that kill, you're like, okay, just let me go, please.
Yeah. That is a 4th crystal now on Locke's side. After that tense Cold Stare fight, you could see him hiding from Cold Stare, hiding from that last puff because it would have done 4 hearts, and he didn't have that extra heart from K45 to let him take a single hit. So, or take another hit, I should say.
And it looks like, yeah, Locke is going to upgrade arrows and potentially bombs. No, not bombs.
But they were right there. You could have. I mean, whatever.
I mean, with silvers, I guess it makes sense. And that was Ether, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
we're still missing a medallion.
that does change things. Oro is probably fairly pleased to see that. They're probably at this point looking for kind of some item that will give them a chance to get something at an outside check, and Ether could very well be that. Checkerboard Cave with just a big 300, neither runner particularly invested in that at this point.
So yeah, Locke having opened up a little bit of a crystal advantage here. Just Thieves Town not going to be too big of a deal. That's a pretty quick shot to get back to blind. The cold stare advantage though is going to be at least a few minutes. And very interestingly, Locke deciding to continue to put off that desert completion. Knowing that, there's not an item there, I get it, but just going to wait for now.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't do it before, why would he do it now?
Who cares about killing Landmolus, right?
I mean, the one reason to do it might be to get the health refill right now, but you could also get that from killing Moldor up here.
And here's that last of the book checks. And another bottle.
Okay, that is not required, but not bad to have. Actually, fairly nice to have, given... I mean, look at how Oro's been doing Desert Palace here, just using Fire Rod, because that's the fastest way. For some enemies, you're not going to turn down a green potion in swordless mode.
But down goes Landmolus for Oro for crystal number 3. And we're going to get a little bit of a coffee break on Locke's side for Hera.
Yeah, no hook shot.
Now, if you're already feeling a little bit behind in Oro's situation, do you skip Hera for now without that hook shot?
Ooh, interesting idea. Maybe. That's a good way to make up some time.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get hook shot elsewhere, I mean, assuming that it's not somewhere gross or at the top of Hera, you could definitely save some time here just by skipping for a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. That's a possible play. Chat, do you know if either runner, I guess this goes to you as well, Radical Sniper, do you know if either runner is in a Moldorm bouncing mood these days?
I cannot say that I would know that one. I figured you would have known for Locke.
Alright, but listen, Locke knows so many things about this game, and then you'll be like, what about this really, really, really old tech? And Locke will be like, nah, I never did that. Why would I need that? So.
Of course, we are getting word from Trinex saying hammer bouncing is a thing.
So right, we don't have a sword for the Moldorm bounce, so yeah, no sword. So never mind. That's not a thing we're gonna be doing. Watch. Turns out Locke knows how to hammer bounce Moldorm and not sword bounce Moldorm. I don't know. He's a great teammate. I have nothing but respect for him as a teammate. He's just a little weird sometimes. Shoutouts to that one heart Locke has remaining again.
I think Locke's doing this just for you, really.
I wish he wouldn't, but I thank him for it. I believe that is the third boss he's defeated with one heart remaining. Alright, that is 5 crystals on Locke's side. I'm still just looking for Ether and Hookshot.
And I don't think anybody would turn their nose up at a lamp.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we should probably find that lamp at some point. Again, it's probably in, like, left side swamp. Although, front half of desert, or sorry, front half of Turtle Rock here could have it.
I mean, I'll clear the mountain first, but I'd strongly consider after that. And honestly, I don't think there's a play besides that to looking at it.
And if you don't do it now, I can't see people rushing back to Pendant Turtle Rock. I mean, it's here. You go ahead, you do it. What else are you gonna do? Go finish Landmo?
Or dip the front of swamp.
I mean, dipping the front of swamp is a good play. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not doing it here.
No.
Yeah. All right, Moldorm finally out of the left side for Oro to actually hit.
Oh, man. Every boss really has been giving Oro the business, unfortunately, on this one. The only one who really cooperated being Landmolus.
It was a good Landmo fight.
Yeah.
All right. Oro gonna take on Moldorm for the second time here as Locke takes on Paradox Cave. Oro a little bit shy on Moldorm here, and it pays off to get that third hit.
And we're actually getting a different play from Oro here, heading into Spike Cave. So this could be important. And it's just $50. But Oro did not go back up the mountain. We'll see what happens up next. So Oro heading back into Thieves Town for the blind kill as Locke is working his way through Turtle Rock.
How about now?
There we go.
Ah, and here I thought you were just ignoring everything I had.
I wasn't sure what was happening. I heard this weird hum, and then I didn't hear you anymore.
Oh, bye. It's okay. It was all really terrible analysis, anyways. But shoutouts to Locke for remembering that he didn't have the hook shot when he did right side TR.
But Oro getting that blind kill, so there is crystal number 5 for Oro. So tied in the crystal department, it's just a difference of Ice Palace to Desert.
Yeah, Oro has been able to rally and come back a bit on these things. Ice Palace is going to be a long rerun, but this is, as we like to say, not over until we actually know where everything is.
Yeah, and this, these plays to looks like we're going to get King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge could really kind of turn things around if either of them is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I could say the same about Locke's side, is that if we get Ether or Hookshot here in TR, that could also kind of spell the opposite, so...
Oh,
wow.
Well, there's Hookshot and Graveyard Ledge. So that gives Oro the remainder of Hookshot Cave that Locke was not able to check.
Yeah, and Oro completely skipped East Mountain.
Mm-hmm. As well as back of Swamp, if they want to go there. And, if Locke gets there soon, obviously no problem. If Locke finds Ether any point along the way here, he could be in trouble, because that'll leave Hookshot anywhere in the world for him.
Yeah, you don't want to find yourself in that mysterious, oh, do I go into GT?
I mean, yeah, you go into GT. It's not going to have your Hookshot, but yeah, you go into GT. Alright, Oro doing the rerun of Ice Palace right now. Locke is unfortunately out of magic heading into the back part of Turtle Rock. Does have that green potion from the tablet, if he needs that.
Yeah, and Oro into the Ice Palace does, I believe, at least have one blue potion in that bottle, so...
I think they bought potions, yeah, when doing the mushroom turn-in.
Yeah, unfortunately, only one bottle did not get the one that we had off of the Ether tablet, lacking the book, and also did not get the one inside of Spectacle Rock.
Oh, hey, we still don't have the lamp, right.
Yeah.
It's fine, this isn't a particularly hard dark room as long as you don't get lost. I think Locke got lost.
I mean, I've seen some runners take this route. A little different, but if you know what you're doing...
Oh, I got lost. Locke knows what he's doing.
Yeah. We don't usually see that route too often, but definitely one that does, works if you got it, so. I have to imagine we see safety door here.
Yeah.
Yep. But nice find of the blue mail there on Laser Bridge and our cape. unfortunately, without the ability to actually equip Cape and have Hammer, doesn't really help us in the Ganon fight. But Blue Mail is definitely a nice find.
Yeah, no complaints about that. All right, here's the refight for Oro. And
yeah, just dropping that potion immediately. And does get 2 puffs down.
This is a good spot to be in. Ooh, Locke not in such a good spot. You know, except for that fairy that I forgot he had.
But that is crystal number 6 for Oro, so does grab a little bit of a crystal advantage. The question, of course, where is Ether? And really nice second phase of Trinix there for Locke with that hammer.
Yeah, was this worth anything other than the blue mail? No.
And Oro's going to press that advantage of the hook shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the play.
This is the play.
And even if it's not here, Oro will just probably head right back up to Death Mountain and get Hookshot Cave before diving Turtle Rock. So, although I say that, it looks like we're going to get Pyramid Fairy instead.
Okay. All right. I understand this. I'm having trouble imagining a world where Oro ends up in Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
I feel like they probably check everything else before heading back up the mountain and get to shave off all that time. But we'll see.
This could be Pyramid as well for Locke. I don't think we see an early Swamp Dive. So Oro is not heading towards Quakefish. Instead, I was going to say, maybe I'm going to eat those words. Yep, as soon as I say it, Oro goes, you know what? I actually want to do Quakefish.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave Quakefish behind here.
Yeah, if you skip it after getting the hook shot previously, like that's really your last opportunity for this check. Before it becomes a really bad last location.
It's always a bad location at this point when you've cleared out Zora area, but with all that early money, what were we going to do? Not do Zora? Wait, hang on. Did Locke skip Dark Cross earlier?
It looks that way, but didn't we agree that this was a small key?
We did, and then Aura opened it, and it was a big 20, and we were proven wrong, and no one called us out on it. But yes. It looks like Oro is not making the swamp play we thought they might do. Smiths into swamp?
I think that has to be the play. Any check's better than any, or no better than another. It's really just a question of density. I'm just surprised Oro is completely skipping East Death Mountain at this point.
Yeah. It might just be one of those, well, I need to shave something off given the bosses I fell to. In which case, it'll work out. And Locke still has not turned in that shovel that he picked up from Lake Hylia Island. So if you're just joining us, this has been a wild race to watch. Locke having cleared more of the game in terms of checks, but missing the hook shot from Graveyard Ledge. And both runners still needing, of course, Ether Medallion to finish the game. Oro losing time earlier in the race due to some boss deaths, but they've been able to make that up as the game has gone on.
And I'm not sure if we're even going to get the swamp play as we had predicted. Oro deciding to actually flute to 7.
All right, both runners going to flute now. Where to?
Locke back to 4. I think this is swamp.
And Oro's switching to the flute and not Oro.
What's happening, Oro?
Don't leave me hanging like this. Oro's cat demanding their attention. So Locke going into swamp here is probably one of the worst things he can do. Heading in here without the hook shot means he's going to leave half the dungeon behind. I think the ideal situation for him is that Ether's in the back of the dungeon. Because if he gets Ether at the start, he's going to go to Mire, clear out Ganon's tower, and last location, that hook shot. Soon tight.
I can't believe that sound carried all the way from upstairs down here.
It's amazing what we can do with computers these days.
Isn't it?
Ooh. So Oro up on the mountain after that delay. Opening the TR portal. We're going to see 3 new checks in Hookshot Cave from them, and then a possible TR dive, which is, not what they need to be doing.
Well, and at this point, I think you push that hook shot. You believe that's an advantage that I might have picked up because I was a little thorough here. So what are my 2 options? Either back of swamp is the play or Hookshot Cave is the play. And, Oro deciding with the density of Death Mountain, I might as well go here.
Yeah. So many more items, so much quicker to get them all. And we'll see what these other 3 items are. This could put Oro into go mode. There's a sword. Powder.
And that's Ether. That is go mode minus a lamp. Whew.
What a turnaround in this race, folks.
Yeah, just that one check of finding Hookshot on Graveyard Ledge has changed the complete makeup of this. And Oro is saying, I don't need no lamp. I am going straight to Mire.
Yeah, still absolutely no idea where that lamp is, though. As I say that, it's getting narrowed down pretty heavily into swamp here, I think.
Yeah, either that or front of Mire.
Yeah, maybe you just walk into Mire, get the lamp, and say, what? Well, I guess I don't have to do this in the dark.
Well, and, Oro getting the safety powder as well in Hookshot Cave. So, 2 very nice finds. Wait, can you not pick up fairies while using Burna?
News to me.
Yeah, I didn't know that one either. And apparently we had a Godmire.
Well, you'd love to see those.
Yeah. Oh, and Locke did find that lamp, so we're getting the old man.
Okay. All right, fine. Old man check at 1 hour 26 minutes into the race. This is a normal run of Link to the Past randomizer.
Oh, that is... I forgot. That is the typical strat there in Mire 1, or Dark Mire 1. Really nicely done by Oro. I've heard about that strat, and I haven't gotten a chance to see that used too much, so really, really nice.
Yeah, that was great. All right, and with Old Man saved, Locke is now going to beat Land Mullets. I think. Finally.
Yeah, it looks like just to give just a slight moment to kind of catch a thought and go, what did I miss?
An hour later, we return to the dungeon, just in case.
Oh, wait. Never mind.
Oh, no. Folks, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted myself.
I mean, it looks like Locke's going the right way here, but what? What?
On the plus side, Locke is going to the right direction, it looks like.
Yeah, I can't be mad that he's going to the right location, but I am because he left behind Lanmo again.
But that is crystal number 7 for Oro, and we are going to be heading up the mountain for GT. And of course, that does mean we have 22 locations in Ganon's Tower basement where the big key could be. Put your guesses in chat. And of course, Violin, where do you think the big key is?
It's probably on the right side. I don't know. It seems like it's on right side a lot these days.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that the Dark Magician strategies paying off big time in this.
Yeah. So we're gonna say that. Also because I think Oro is likely to get it fairly early if it's on the right side. I love how quick swap works in this cave.
Yeah, I know some people still say that it's quicker to go up to the actual TR portal, but I definitely have a preference for or going up Super Bunny.
It's it's a little scary if you're trying to go through the cave fast with hookshot, because if you whiff the clip on the second set of blocks, you have to spend a fair amount of time going around. But with mirror, you can still hookshot to the block and then delete the block. It's so slick.
Oh my gosh! And Oro trying to just go and being told, "No, we're not going to let you get through here." And on the plus side, Locke heading straight for Hookshot Cave instead of back of Swamp, so gonna get that Ether Medallion momentarily.
Yeah, that's great. He can get Ether, so then he can go beat Vidi, float away, climb the mountain to GT, realizes he doesn't have 7 crystals, go back and fight Landmo. I mean, what?
No! Locke wouldn't do that, right?
But yeah, this is looking pretty solidly in Oro's favor here, as they are into GT, about a dungeon and a half ahead.
Everybody's favorite single arrow.
You know, along the way, we've picked up a fair amount of health, and Oro's now all the way up to 13 hearts, which is much more comfortable than we were dealing with earlier.
Yeah, the only thing is Oro not getting that mail upgrade off of Laser Bridge, so Ganon's still going to be quite the dangerous fight.
Yeah. Yeah, you can take one hug, plus, whatever your potions get you through.
And wow, the dodging around those Gibdos.
Hey, gotta save your magic in Swordless. And after 11 checks, nothing on the right side. Sorry, folks, I was wrong today.
You meant tile room, obviously.
I definitely did not. 100% I did not mean tile room, but thanks for checking. It's important to be clear.
I was giving you an out here.
But yeah, full right strat from Oro here. Headed through straight to Ice Armos at the back. Not a route we see very often anymore. But it'll still work out.
Definitely not.
Locke remembering, hang on, I don't want to hit the switch here in the basement. Good work. And there in Bob's chest, I think that was chest 12? Is our big key.
It was 12. Did we get a 12?
Hang on. Oro went right and got the big key, so that means it was on the right side and I won, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, our tracker tonight, So Last Summer, did guess number 12. Inside information, I don't know.
I'm trying to find the joke and I can't find the joke there, so we're just not going to worry about it.
But yeah, this race is definitely not over. We still have a great finish with the GT climb and a Ganon fight coming up. And if you have not seen Swordless Ganon, get ready.
I'm ready to not do Swordless Ganon.
Me too. That's why I'm the cross keys player.
Alright. Locke takes down Vitreous. And back up top. Is this it? Is this it?
It is finally time for Lanmo.
The madman actually killing Lanmo in a Crystal Desert Seed. What a gamer here. Oh yeah, look at these prize packs. Look at these prize packs Aura's getting. You'll just kind of get all the good stuff here, including, if you kill enough stuff, maybe a magic drop. Which, if you're heads up on that, which I wasn't, so shoutouts to chat, you can even burn your magic to be ready for that. And Oro takes down Lanmo too. Locke takes down Lanmo.
For crystal number 7.
Yeah, and look at this. This is how Swordless GT goes. It's a lot of hook shot. I'm going to stun this enemy. I'm going to stun this enemy. I'm going to kill these enemies. I can't just dash through everything. Why does the game hate me?
Well, and Oro has to really be careful here.
Oh, hey, look, 2 hearts. Yeah, that's a little scary. Just don't fall.
Yep.
Just don't get 1.0'd, which is non-trivial in this room.
Oh, exactly. But we're through that.
And you know, they got powder up here, so in just a second, we'll get that full health refill from these 2 enemies. And a 14th heart from that chest. Well,
makes all the difference in the world.
It's not nothing. I wouldn't open that chest unless I knew I was on 3/4 of a heart, because at that point it might just be worth it.
So Oro heading into this last room before the Aga 2 fight. Nice dash up as Locke is about to enter GT. And we are going to get bug net strats. Just have to get those net dashes if we're going to do them.
All right, folks. I know I said I hate the meme, but this fight is actually no joke with the bug net. Like, it's a weird timing.
Yeah.
That if you haven't practiced, it's going to throw you off. Dashing helps a lot.
Yeah, and this is a lot better than trying to do hammer strats. Nice double there. And there we go. Down goes Aga 2 on Oro's side. So just a Ganon fight to go.
how do you fight Ganon with a hammer? Understand the hammer hitbox.
Yes.
Understand that you probably don't actually understand the hammer hitbox, and that's part of the fight.
And try to understand the Ganon hitbox. Ganon's arms, and that arm that does not hold the trident is pretty much your like sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
That or the head. So especially when we get into phase 2, what you're really looking for is that arm that does not hold the trident is where you're really trying to get hits, or in this case, Oro. Yeah.
Just do that. This is how you fight Hammer Ganon. Just stand up there and win.
Really nicely done there. There we go. There's our first silver. Just 3 to go. Nice on the torch glitch. Ooh. Mean fire bat there. Does get a third. Oh no!
Ooh.
Oh
Fairy?
wow.
Fairy? Fairy? No fairy.
Ouch. That is a hug on the freeze.
Well, that's got to be disconcerting if you're Oro to feel that the race is probably super close at this moment and then restart the Ganon fight. Turns out they have the time to make another run at this quite easily.
Yeah, Hammer Ganon is not a quick fight, so you definitely, especially when you're what, 1 silver away at that moment. Oof.
Yeah, and unfortunately, not the nice lineup we had the first time around at this. Ooh.
Meanwhile, Locke is into the GT climb after collecting his GT big key. But that is much better on the position this time.
Yeah, this is a great spot to be in.
And we're back into phase 3 here.
Excellent.
I don't know anymore. Ouch.
Oh, that's not so excellent.
No.
That's rough. Oro still has a lead, but it is diminishing. We're going to see the tree bonk for Fairy.
I must say, this Dark World music, though, really gets, you pumped up, it feels like.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for this Ganon fight.
Yeah, me too. And I'm not even fighting.
I think that's 10 hits in phase 1 so far. And with 12 there, Oro now is into phase 2.
Yeah, and unfortunately, bottom patterns or low patterns for Ganon in phase 2 really do not lend themselves ever to going for hammer hits.
They are such a trap. If you go for the hits, you are very likely to just bop yourself, restart the fight, and then get really mad at the game. Well, the last part's just me. I don't know.
No, I can see the getting mad part.
But there we are through phase 2 again. Welcome to phase 3.
There's our third hit. And there's our number 4.
All right, here we go, Oro. Catch Ganon right in the middle of the room. This will be another double here. The triple even.
Wow,
nice shot.
Triple. Yeah, that hammer triple, that really hard one to get, and just so beautifully executed. And there we go. Oro finishing in first place with a 1:45.01. And not only to take this race, but to take the series for Zelda and Chill to advance to the conference semifinals.
Yo, great work, Zelda and Chill. They certainly brought it to their games to take us out.
And not too soon after that, Locke deciding to forfeit from this race. Understandable. I did get to see a little bit of comment in the race room saying, at least I don't have to swordless Ganon.
I mean, sounds like Locke won on his own terms then.
Exactly. And we will see if we can get both of our runners in for an interview tonight. All right, hope so. Let me see if...
I'm surprised. They're both so talkative normally.
Yeah.
Locke's even in chat, but he doesn't want to talk to us. Locke, we're on ALTTPR. Like you just, yeah. There you go, bud. There you go. All right.
Listen, Philion, I'm dumb, okay?
Okay, Locke, I only have one question.
Yo.
Lanmo?
What about him? What's up? He had no item.
Yeah, no, I get that. But the second time.
I was thinking, what was I forgetting? Because I didn't get anything from Old Man. I'm like, I'm missing something. What is this? So I was like, all right, well, I'm thinking I'm going to go kill Landmole since I have nothing better to do. Then I remembered what I was missing, so I went and got my go mode.
Yeah, but you were right there. Hi,
Should
Aura.
have killed him the first time I was there.
Hi, GG, Locke.
GG. Philion, I'm blaming this on you anyway. If you just lost yesterday, I wouldn't have had to go through Swordless today.
I don't know, Locke. I ran undefeated this season, so.
Yeah,
I can't say
it seems
that.
like Philion's the real winner here tonight.
I
mean,
blame the shuffler.
What I definitely did was not take Swordless yesterday, so that you had to take it today. So, I'll accept full responsibility for that.
Yeah, why didn't you take Swordless? I don't want to deal with that.
Because I didn't want to do Swordless Cannon. So, all right, more seriously here. Oro, you had a bit of a rough first half of this seed.
Yeah, indeed.
What do you do to recover from that? Because it worked.
Go to where the items are and okay, like literally, like I did the opposite of what I did last night, where like I felt behind last night, and like I went and I did the like first spear of mountain checks, when obviously the play was to go to Spike Cave, which was like go to the mountain check that is hammer locked. And my advantage this case was I have the hook shot the first time going up the mountain, so go up to do the hookshot locked location on the mountain, and that gave me my go mode, and I got to skip a lot of other slower checks. Also, I think that Locke probably died a lot. That probably helped me too.
No, not at all. Actually, I think I died like once with a fairy, maybe twice. No, I'm very confident with doing dumb things because of mystery, Puck champion, chaos damage, chaos health. Like, you give me the right tools, I'll do whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just I skipped that hook shot for a very long time. I beat Eastern, I beat Turtle Rock, I dipped into Swamp without the hook shot. I did a lot of dumb things.
I went to Eastern like at the very start of the seed and got nothing out of it, and I died on my way, and like I was just like, okay, Armos and the Green Pennant are nothing no matter what, and
Well, you weren't wrong. It was a book and $20, I think, and the book led to nothing.
And I just told myself, okay, Lamp is on Green Pendant, and that's it, and that's just where I'm going to assume for the rest of the seed.
I wish almost. Lamp was on left side Swamp.
I never got that.
I'll have you all know I called that.
A stupid lamp location.
Yeah, really stupid lamp location.
Yeah, I feel like the big think is sort of the key to Zelda and Chill's victory. I had 2 occasions where I needed to use the restroom very badly. Once in Thieves Town, and once I forget when.
Purple chest?
I just
After Purple Chest.
after Purple Chest, where I was just like, okay, I'm gonna turn this in. I'm gonna refill my health, and I'm gonna think. And both times, I just kind of had like 2 sort of decisions made, and I made the right decision.
So,
And,
do you advise
Amber-
this strategy for other rando players who want to figure out where the items are?
Yes, do the big think, and then go to where the items are. That's all you can do.
I mean, yeah, that's how it goes. That's how the video game is. Looking ahead for Zelda and Chill, what are your thoughts on next possible opponents? I guess they're not squared away yet, so that's maybe a useless question.
No,
Nope.
no, that's set in stone. I think we have a rivalry in the brewing in the booth right now.
Yeah, just a little bit. 2 teams did clinch spots in the next round, and that would JKLOL and Zelda. And
yeah, that'd be number 2 and number 8.
3.
Number 3. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So, yep, that matchup is decided now. Only one division left or one division final left in the Crystal Conference still. That is the Pod division. Still waiting to find out who will win between Dante Matus Join and Kakariko Brew Crew. Winner of that will face off against Oops All Foxes. But yeah, we do have a matchup for Zelda and Chill in JKLOL for now.
Yeah, so do you have any insight as far as what mode Kazdin might pick against me, since it's his option?
If I did, I'd be the first to know, and unfortunately, I have no idea.
Yeah.
That'd be a surprise. Grab bag it.
I was gonna say Kazan did just do grab bag ladder, so
There you go.
Is there any mode that he's not gonna pick?
wouldn't know.
Yeah.
He and I have practiced all the modes.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming in as the 8th seed, so I assume I have to practice all the modes as the power pendant.
but as we are, of course, looking at the next round, that does mean we have lost Team Elf here. I guess thoughts from Philion and Locke here, as this is the end of your guys' season.
I mean, the new Arkham Horror expansion just dropped, so now I can just go play that and not worry about Zelda. So, like, I'm okay.
I'm gonna go lose my mind doing a 70-game shuffler.
Yeah, we got plenty of other
Yeah,
stupid
I know,
things
this is
we could
completely
do.
fine with me, yeah. Like, we're totally fine with this. I told Philion to lose, like, yesterday or the day before, so I didn't have to do this.
I have nothing other than rando, so I need this.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I have too many randos to deal with now.
Best of luck to you. I don't know. You guys destroyed it in the regular season, and it was an honor just running with you at all. And yeah, best of wishes to you, Violin and Locke,
Yes,
and you, Domestic.
Y'all were great. Y'all were great.
You'll have to beat everyone now for us. You have to take the torch and just run with it and beat everyone. You beat us, so you'd have to do it now.
Don't say that in front of Jesse.
That's fine.
I was gonna say, we were told the same thing after our win today, so
Yeah, but we were the number 1 seed, so it means more coming from us.
fair enough. I can't argue with the logic here.
Yeah?
This is rando. We don't obey the logic.
Never.
No, never.
Right.
What is logic?
If you want more open league races, we're kind of running out for the weeks at the moment. But Thursday, that's tomorrow at 6:10 Eastern. Reliable Archery Aces are against Blue Balls United, and the other one from the Dark World division is on Friday at 7:40 p.m. Kak Brew Crew and Dante made us join. So keep an eye on the schedule for when those are going to happen. And like Invitation of the League is full of matches this week because they just started.
And I do have to say, I know it's far off, but we do have a Game 5 on the open schedule.
Was that
for
a Game
Sunday.
5?
Yes.
Get hype.
Sunday at 1:10 p.m. Last Locationeers and yet another bonk do have a co-op reference to decide their series. So still quite a bit to go for this week before we reach conference semis. And I do see we have we will be heading over to, I guess, more racing after this. Let me see what our invitational schedule looks like. Oh yeah, we have a race coming up at actually right now over on Speed Gaming between Swirly Coin Brewing and Did You Check Your Boot? Jejo versus Werfjig in Cross Keys, and we have another race starting a half an hour after that on Speed Gaming 2. So still plenty of racing this evening if you have not yet gotten your fill of Link to the Past Randomizer. But we will be heading over to Speed Gaming to watch that. Once again, thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. Thank you to Yorker's Wife for the restream, and thank you to Solas for the tracking. It has been a pleasure to come with you tonight, Philion.
Yo, thanks. It's been a pleasure. Have a great night, everyone. Play more video games.